What is poppin', guys? I am back. We bought a house, so I decided to dedicate one of the rooms to a studio and space that I can basically create videos, create content, and I thought, what better way to share my knowledge but to start making videos about how I create the effects that I do. I've been getting loads of requests off of Instagram and Facebook, just asking, how do you edit? What are some strategies that you use? So I thought it would be great to create a new series of videos, just basically diving into my knowledge of various things. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy, this new series of videos that I will be creating. And if you have any other ideas or something that you'd like to see, please don't hesitate, just comment below. It would be much appreciated. Today, we're going to focus on radial filters. I'm going to be basically going through my edits, how I edit my photos, but I'm going to focus mainly on how I use radial filters to really make my work stand out. I think it's a tool that's really overlooked in Lightroom, and I think that it's absolutely essential. I've also been getting a lot of requests from people, how do you create, those glows and soft effects when you edit your photos. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. So what you want to do is you want to open up Lightroom and you want to use photos that will really take a liking to these effects. A few really good examples are any photos that have nice, good golden light, so golden hour, and even some really flat, kind of misty type of photos, like this one. It's going to be a lot easier if you have light to work with from the beginning. So I'm going to use this example first. So this is a drone shot that I took in Norwich, UK, where I live. So I'm basically just going to crop, which is standard, 4:5. I like to crop this way for Instagram. So once we have our image cropped, I'm going to go through some of my favorites and basically pick the one that I think works best. Ooh, I like that one. I have recently created this preset and I've been using it for pretty much all of my photos. So I'm going to go with this one. We're obviously going to go into the basic settings tab and we're going to just go through what we want to adjust. So I like to basically go to clarity. Clarity is really important to get those type of glows. A lot of people, especially me, when I first started, I would punch it up like this, and I thought that looked really, really good. Which a lot of the times, yes, it does look good. But I tend to now really take that down and go into anywhere from -20 to about -30 with clarity. Dehaze is really, really good for giving that kind of soft look, if that makes sense. So I find that dehaze just kind of like, if you take this down, it actually just flattens the image a lot. Now you can go crazy with it. Obviously I don't want to go that crazy with it, but I think 15 is pretty good. Another really, really good technique to give that soft glow is taking your blacks and putting them all the way up. I know that can sometimes seem pretty extreme, but to be honest with you, I mean, if I don't have that all the way down and I just basically have it to 0, it doesn't look the greatest. So I think putting that all the way up is really, really handy. So basically, just to recap, your 3 main things that you want to focus on to get that glow in your photos is blacks, clarity, and dehaze. Right, so now I'm just going to make a few extra little adjustments that suit, the photo the best in my opinion. Now for the fun part. I'm going to go into Radial Filters. I'm going to create and put a radial filter there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to invert. I'm then going to take dehaze. That's probably my go-to first. And I'm going to take it all the way down to about 35. Now, you basically want to adjust according to the environment. There's no set settings that will work for every photo all the time. So you basically have to calibrate and adjust according to the photo that you're using. You're also going to take clarity. You're going to move that nice and down, just about there, -30. And you're going to use blacks as well, again. And these are the main 3 tools that I like. Now, I also like to go into whites to really brighten that up. And I'm just basically going to go there and just adjust. Now I'm going to go into feather as well because I want it to be softer. I'm just going to go like that. Right, so that's basically step 1. I'm just going to do the shadows a little bit. And you basically tweak until you think that it looks really good. Now, the other thing that's really, really important here is we're going to go into color. And I like to go and basically match the lighting of the photo. We really want that nice warm color. And we want it to be subtle because we're creating this effect, and the key is really just to be subtle with it. You don't have to go super, super harsh. You can, sometimes it will work, but other times it's best to be subtle and just build onto that. Just gonna adjust the exposure there. And that's radial filter number 1. Now I'm gonna take another radial filter. So I'm going to adjust this, and this will be basically the main one. Now we're going to invert that again. I'm going to dehaze again. Go into the blacks. And we're going to go into here once more. And that's going to be pretty much, yeah, bang on. Gonna go into the clarity as well. And there we go. So now, if you go back, I like to do this all the time, is I like to just hit this little button here, just to see what we've done so far. So now what we're gonna go is we're going to go into a gradient filter. And I'm basically going to go about halfway, and I'm going to make the gradient filter go a little bit off camera. Again, this just creates that lens flare glow type of effect that you want. I'm going to do the exact same type of formula that we've done before. Now again, I'm just going to tweak a little bit until it looks good to me. Now I'm going to take another gradient filter, and I'm going to basically do the opposite of what we've been doing over here. I'm going to go into the exposure, and I'm just going to lower the exposure a little bit. I'm going to take the highlights, I'm going to do the same, the whites as well, and the shadows a little bit. I'm just going to basically make that really nice and wide, so that, again, it's subtle, but it works. So now, if you go back, that's what it was, that's what it is. Now what I'm going to do actually is, I like what's going on here, but it needs to have something else again. So, I'm actually going to really create a massive radial filter here. And I'm going to take the exposure down because it's really harsh. Take down the highlights. Take down the whites. So basically what I'm doing is I'm creating the horizon to look so hazed and kind of misty that if you didn't have this, like let's say we just take that away versus putting that there, I think that actually adds to it. I just see that there is something here as well that I need to adjust. I want the shadows to just be a little bit lower. So now, if you wanted to get really crazy with it, what you could do is you can take a radial filter, another radial filter, and you can really get creative with it. So obviously there's a lot of light hitting this castle, Norwich Castle. So what I want to do, again, I'm going to invert, and I'm going to just take the clarity, I'm going to put it really far down, also going to do dehaze as well, and a little bit of black. Those are your keys. Those are your three main keys to create that glow. And I'm basically just going to do that, and I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to do just a subtle bit of color. And there we go. So what that does is that creating an effect that there's so much light hitting this that there's actually a glow, and it's going to be consistent with everything else that you've created here. Alright guys, so that's the video. I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. This is what I use every day when I edit my photos. If you thought this tutorial was helpful, please like it. That would be amazing and very much appreciated. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram to see more of my work, the link is in the bio, and it's also somewhere down here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.